I said I wasn't going to do a video about movies this week, and I'm not. We are still going to be talking about media today, though. This video is kind of a part 2 to my obscure childhood media video I made a while ago. While that video, part 1, focused on movies and shows, this video is going to be computer games from my childhood. Don't get too excited, though. By computer games, I mean educational computer games. I wouldn't necessarily call these obscure, although a lot of them probably are, if not for any other reason besides the fact they're educational. Okay, so my family got a computer in 1995. It was a Gateway desktop, and I was 7 years old. And I still remember the day that my dad brought it home, and it was in a big cardboard box that had like the cow spots on it. And I'm not sure if it was the same day, but almost immediately he got me set up with my own screen name on AOL. Those were some good times. So basically I've been hanging out in chat rooms since the tender age of 7, surfing the web. But anyway, soon after that, we started getting computer games. We did not have a gaming console until I was 12, so computer games is what we were doing when we were playing games. And let's start off with the first game I ever remember having, and that's the first one on this list. Math Blaster: In Search of Spot. This game is, well, doing math in outer space. Apparently Math Blaster was first developed as a video game in 1983 and has undergone several renditions since then, and apparently it's now an app. Number 2. The Jumpstart series. Specifically, I remember us having Jumpstart second grade because I remember the song. We're gonna jumpstart second grade. We're gonna jumpstart second grade. I'll stop there. I'm assuming we got this when my sister was in second grade, so that would put me in 5th grade. I tried to look at Jumpstart 5th grade and it just didn't ring a bell. So I'm not sure what other Jumpstarts we had, but second grade was the fun one. Next, the House series. The games from the House series that I remember us having are Millie's Math House from 1992, Sammy's Science House from 1994, that was my favorite, and Bailey's Book House from 1994. I loved these. These were great. These were probably some of our first because I have very fond memories of those. Number 4, Zoopolis, aka Zoo Explorers, from 1994. Join Splash the Penguin, Head of Feathers, Gilda Gorgeous, and all the characters of Zoo Explorers for hours of fun and learning. Kids will discover games, puzzles, videos, jokes, and all kinds of activities that will keep them coming back for more. This is a really cool game. I still remember the songs. A lot of these games are kind of laid out the same. Like there will be this menu and like different items you could click on, and like it would take you to a different section or a different activity. And Zoopolis was like that. I remember really liking that one. Number 5, Welcome to Bodyland from 1994. This one was so good. The music was awesome. I loved the art and the colors and like the animation. And it was like a theme park. So it's a body theme park. So you could like click on different body parts and go to that specific like ride, if you will. And there was lots of songs. And it taught you a lot about the body, and it's a lot of knowledge that I still hang on to today, like your nails grow faster when it's hot, like you lose about 20 strands of hair a day. It formed this like foundation for how I understand a lot. I really like exploration in games, and I think I always have, and I liked Bodyland because it had that same sort of menu layout, but I feel like there were more options to choose because you could click all over the body. So there's a lot of exploration to be done. Number 6, The Amazing Writing Machine from 1995. This was, kind of like a word processor, but it was more fun. You could put there are like sound effects, and you could do like colors and different fonts and all that. There's very little out there about The Amazing Writing Machine, like on the internet right now. I could find a few mentions of it here and there, but like, this must be really obscure. Number 7, Fine Artist from 1994. This was a legendary program in our house. The sound effects, man, the sound effects were it. This this was awesome. Okay, so Fine Artist was like, it was an interactive computer game, but it just promoted like art and creativity. I'm going to read the description. Fine Artist is a raster graphics editor program created by Microsoft Kids. The interface and environment is targeted towards children, and it's set in Imaginopolis, with the main helper being a character known as McZ. I would make comic strips a lot, and the thing you could do in Fine Artist is you could print out your drawings if you had a printer. So I still have some of my printouts, actually. Number 8, Storywriter. I can't find anything about Storywriter out there on the internet, so this is just coming out of my own memory. Storywriter was a Word, like a Microsoft Word program. It was like very standard, very basic, but I just remember like the way the keyboard looked. I think there was a keyboard and the colors. The cool function of Storywriter, or was it called Storybook? It was one of the two. I think it was Storywriter. Anyway, you could like type out your story and then you could click this button and it would read your story out to you in like a robot voice. It was cutting edge technology. But I would just spend hours on Storywriter. That was my thing. I would like get up on the weekend and go get on Storywriter and work on my novels. Number 9, Gorillas from 1991. This actually wasn't on our Gateway desktop. This was a game that was on my dad's work laptop. It was like a 2-player game, so you're like fighting against each other. You each had a gorilla and you would like chunk bananas at each other. You were standing on skyscrapers and you would chunk bananas at each other to try to break down the other person's skyscraper. Number 10, Candyland Adventure from 1996. This is my stuff right here. Okay, I feel so strongly about this game. I want to get like a Candyland tattoo or something. I feel so strongly about this game that I will turn on the Let's Play on YouTube like while I'm at work or whatever, just to let it play, just so I can listen to it, because I love the sounds, I love the music, I love the voices, I love the way it looks. Oh my gosh. Well, you know how we are about Candyland, right? Like, it was a dream. The board game, although I liked looking at it, the board game never did it for me, but the computer game, it's immersive. You're in it. You're in Candyland, and it's just the best, okay? It's the best. That was an A+ game. Do I want to say that's my favorite? It might be my favorite on this list. Number 11, Play-Doh Creations from 1996. Another banger right here. This was one of our other top favorites. Again, awesome music, awesome colors, a lot of options for being creative. You know, you're obviously Play-Doh Creations. You're like making stuff out of Play-Doh, and like you can put glitter in it, and you can put like different colors and stuff. Like, it was just really fun. And again, it was one where you like, there are lots of different stations with different themes that you would go and make creations, and it was awesome. This is another one that I just like to watch Let's Plays on YouTube. Number 12, y'all, this one is not educational. This is Barbie Magic Hairstyler from 1997. This was a dream, okay? This is like kind of like a makeover game, right? So you could like choose your Barbie, you could do stuff to her hair, you could put makeup on her, and she would like talk to you, and then at the end you would choose like what her destination was, like, or maybe it was in the beginning. Anyway, you choose like, is she going to work? Is she going on a date? Like, what's she doing? It was so fun. You could do anything. My sister and I would take turns playing Barbie Magic Hairstyler like so much. Oh, and it was like 3D graphics. This was advanced. Number 13, 1998, Monopoly. Apparently there are a lot of different Monopoly computer games from the 90s and on. 98 is the one that we had. And the reason I love this game is not because I love Monopoly. The thing that was great about this game is, so let's say you land on a property. It would show you, a little screen would pop up and you would see a 3D rendition of that property. It would be animated with ambience and everything in 3D. And I, again, love exploration and I love places in games. So to be able to see these places from this boring board game brought to life. I loved seeing that. And it was just for a brief little moment, but it felt so magical. Number 14, Fun School in Dreamland, 1994. This one is definitely a little more obscure. And how do you remember that title, Fun School in Dreamland? I can't believe I found this game. I've always remembered it. And a few years ago, I was trying to find out what the name of this game was, and I found it. There's a Let's Play on YouTube. Anyway, this is like your standard educational kids game. It had like all kinds of exercises. I'll read the description. The Fun School games introduce two children, Suki and Rick, and their purple pet dinosaur, Gloopy. The player has to assist Gloopy and the children in solving a number of challenges. So why do I remember this game so much? There's just one special little function of this game. There was a landscape in the game, in the main menu, I think. I don't remember. And there's a little cow in the distance. And when you click on that cow, it changes the song that's playing. So the cow was like a radio, and you could listen to all these different songs and just click through them. I loved that music playing cow, because he would play like pop, not like real pop, but like generic pop, I guess, off-brand pop. Anyway, I loved it so much, I'd take my tape recorder out and like record the songs onto a tape. I didn't have a radio or anything like till I was 10. I didn't fool with that. So I think this was the first time I was kind of like having control over this channel of music that was coming into me. And I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. Number 15, Petz. I'm sorry. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. Not Candyland. Petz. Oh my gosh. I hope one of you out there remembers Petz. We started with cats 4 and dogs 4. Eventually we graduated to cats 5 and dogs 5. But this is like the cutest animals. The cutest animation. Basically, it's just like you adopt animals, you take care of them, they're virtual pets. You take care of them, you feed them, you brush them, you can like dress them up, you can give them toys, you can breed them, and then their babies are mixed and super cute, or you can like keep it purebred if you want. It is the best. And there's an online community, so they would have like dog shows, and you could even download mods of like different kinds of breeds. I love this game so much. Everything about it. Actually, I did a Let's Play a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago, on my channel, where I found a way to download Petz 4, or maybe it was Petz 5, and played again for the first time. And oh my gosh. I love that game. Number 16, Rockett's New School, 1997. I guess this one wasn't really educational either. It was kind of like a cartoon, sort of, that you controlled. So you made the decisions, and then you watched how it played out. So it was like this girl going to a new school, as if the title didn't give that away. And you kind of choose like how she reacts to different situations that present themselves on this first day of school. The game follows Rockett Movado as she begins the first day of 8th grade at her new school. And the genre is friendship adventures for girls. But I thought this was awesome. It was really fun, and like everyone had like these outfits, and I remember the sound effects, like the school ambience, like the sound of the school cafeteria and stuff, and you're in Rockett's mind, so you're like hearing her thoughts, and it's just great. Number 18, Hollywood, 1995. This was a game for budding filmmakers and screenwriters. Basically, you could get on this game and write a script and then program all these characters to act it out. So similar to the way that Storywriter could read your text, this game could read your text and make different characters like say the part, and then they could even like enter and exit and all that. Loved this. Number 18, I can't believe I remember to put this on here. Encarta Encyclopedia. This isn't really a game. It's a program. It's an encyclopedia. And it ran from 1993 to 2009. It's a digital multimedia encyclopedia published by Microsoft. By 2008, the complete English version had more than 62,000 articles, photos, illustrations, music clips, videos, interactive content, timelines, maps, atlases, and homework tools. I loved getting on here and just learning. It's kind of like the same thing I do on like Google now. I'll just start poking around in whatever I'm interested in. But I would get on Encarta and explore. And the things I remember exploring particularly is music. I remember listening to David Bowie, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Boy George, Soundgarden, Changes. And you could also go and like learn about musical instruments, and you could like listen to what each instrument sounded like. I remember like just going in there and listening to the oboe because I thought it was cool. And I think you could also like learn about other countries and other cultures and like all kinds of animals. It was awesome. Number 19, Clue Finders, Third Grade Adventures. In my memory, this was a Jumpstart game, so I don't know how I managed to find this one. It was not Jumpstart, it's Clue Finders. And this was really good. It's from 1998, so I was already like 10 at this point. But I remember me and my sister having a great time with this one. It's a mystery/adventure game, and I remember we used to make fun of how like the girl used to walk like this and the boy used to walk like this, and we just made fun of them the whole time. Number 20, we're gonna wrap it up with American Girls Premiere from 1998. I have a vague memory of this one. I was closing out the list, and then this like vision of American Girls like arranged on like a stage came to my mind. And when I started watching a Let's Play of American Girls Premiere, the intro looked really, really familiar to me. I think we played this game. I think we might have had some kind of a problem with it. Like maybe we didn't have enough space on the computer or something. Or maybe we had a problem with the gameplay. I don't remember. But I know we played this. Okay, that concludes my list of childhood computer games from the 90s. Oh my gosh. I have such fond memories with these games. Let me know if you have played any of these games. There are Let's Plays of almost all of these on YouTube if you want to check them out. I personally haven't looked into how to continue to play some of these games besides Petz, but it's been really fun. There's a community out there that's into forgotten games. I also learned the term abandonware, which really makes me sad. Oh, and I wanted to say that if you watch some of these Let's Plays, you'll see comments from people who worked on those games, like people who were artists and programmers that worked on those games. They'll be like, oh, this is my first job out of college or whatever. Like, it's just so cool. Computer games just, and I guess probably video games would have made me feel the same way, but computer games just really ignited my imagination. Especially when it comes to a game that had exploration or endless possibilities. And that's probably why I liked The Sims so much and why I like Skyrim so much now, because there's endless possibilities. And I think there's something so magical about that. Even these creativity games, there's probably endless possibilities with what you can put together, like what kinds of Play-Doh creations you can make. And when it comes to exploration, even in one of these fixed computer games, there'd be a landscape. Like Bodyland. I think it was in Bodyland. On the horizon, you could see there's a city over there. And I used to just be like, what's in that city? Like what's over the horizon? What's the next town over? And I've always been just like looking onto the horizon of games, and like maybe it's because I always knew that more was going to be possible when it came to game development, but I felt like it was a world that you could just keep going. Like the game wouldn't let you cross this point, but you could. It does keep going. You just aren't allowed over there. Right? Oh, that makes sense. yeah, I mean, thinking back now, these games really did something to me, like something good. And I still love games to this day. I know where there's so many memories that I can't quite grab them. I'll have like a little flash, but I can't grasp it and try to uncover what it is, if that makes sense. It's just so weird. There's like a whole world inside me that I can't remember. This has been very nostalgic for me. I hope somebody out there feels the same way. I remember the excitement of game time. I'm not sure how long I used to play. Time's different when you're a kid. So I remember things like waiting for the game to load. Yeah, I gotta put the disc in too. And I remember though, like sometimes you play with the disc, but sometimes you had to install it on the computer. And I remember like running out of space. Like you can't install this computer game because you don't have any more space. What? While I had felt as a kid like I didn't get a console when all the other kids got a console, I'm not mad at my computer game history. I don't hear a lot of people talking about computer games they used to play because I think a lot of them were just, they had video games, right? So, like I said, please let me know if you have played any of these or if you played computer games as a kid because we're a special breed, you know. All right, I'll see you next week. Might be talking about movies, might be talking about paranormal stuff. I haven't decided yet, so just pop back by, I guess. See ya!